Hello and welcome to Preparation Skills for University. On behalf of Bree Knight and myself, we'd love to extend a very warm welcome to all of you students that are coming to STEPS through 2024. So as you can see here, Bree Knight, who's on the Glasson campus, and myself, who's located on the Bundaberg campus, will be sharing coordination over the next 2 terms. So you will hear from us intermittently. So this video is just a very simple introduction to Moodle and what you can expect in Prep Skills for University. So number 1 is Moodle. Now you may have already heard about Moodle, but when you land on this page, this is what you should be seeing. If you can see these lovely characters here, then you are on the right page. Now these people are actually ex-STEP students. So they're all students that have gone through, they all have come from very varied backgrounds and have gone into university through STEPS. So it has been a very successful journey for them. And we have a lot of students, hundreds of students go through STEPS and they're all able to transition into university. So for this particular unit, Preparation Skills for University or Prep Skills or PSU, whatever you want to call it, this is a general study skills course. So by the time you finish with us, you're going to have so much more confidence about how to handle your study, time management practices, and so much more. So when you land on this page, what you're going to see is what we call tiles. And as you can see here, there are various tiles that you can click on. So I'm going to take you through a few of these tiles just to get you started and familiarize yourself with Moodle. So number 1 is the unit information tile. So basically the unit introduction is just giving you an overview of what we want you to know about the unit. One of the key things here will be actually your study material. So what we do ask is that you get hold of a study guide. Now the STEP study guide can be printed or you can take it to a Officeworks or another organization like that and get it printed for you. We recommend a hard copy. However, we know that some people will use digital. You also will have been sent the STEPS guide for students, so please tuck that away safe and sound. There's a lot of good information in there as well, and you will need that for an assessment task later this term. And there's also the unit profile, which you can access on Moodle up across your top little breadcrumbs that are up there. So these are the 3 key things. You'll also need a good book to write in, something that you can just jot down notes in. Can't you see it? Jot down notes in, or have like a digital version, like a Word document. So that's our first tab. The next tab I want you to look at is the learning community. Now, as I've said, you'll see myself and Bree quite a bit over the coming terms. However, you will also see a range of other lecturers. So we have a really lovely team of educators in STEPS, but in particular, we think in Prep Skills for Uni. Now, for internal students, you may have already met your internal lecturer. So that is your go-to person with any questions you have in relation to prep skills. However, online students, you will be introduced to your online lecturer in your first week. So please don't panic. There's a little bit of organisational structure that has to go on here, as we have to put you into groups and then allocate a lecturer, and then that lecturer will then touch base with you. So generally, about midweek of the first week, you will have your support lecturer's details, and they are your go-to person. The other thing in the learning community is we talk about forums. And look, forums are just a great way of communicating. It's with like-minded STEP students that are all doing prep skills. There will be questions that we pose to you that you can put your thoughts into forums. I'd love for everybody to go in and click on the introduction forum and actually post a little introduction about yourself. Now, you'll find different ways to access these forums. This one here, you'll see on your home, your landing page for Moodle, but when you go into your different tiles, there will be different forums you can click on. So please introduce yourself and then every week make a commitment to post onto the forums. The third tile are our virtual classes. So we have both online and internal students doing prep skills, and we cater for both, but very much combined as well, because we don't like having the two separate groups and having you feel separate. We're trying to get you to integrate and be a part of a broader community. So every Monday, we start the week off with our lecture. So from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we will host our Prep Skills online Zoom lecture. And then from 11 to 12 is like Q&A or task allocation time that you can get stuck into some of the different tasks you want to do. So that is for everyone, internal and online students, if you can make it. Now, for online students, you will also have a special workshop on a Wednesday afternoon from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock that your online support lecturers will take. So this is a special time dedicated just for you to be able to ask questions, to learn more. The educators will come with some ideas, with some like a tutorial that you can, hands-on workshop. It's probably the best way of wording it. So please set that as a time to come along, 5 to 6 on a Wednesday. Now, internal students, you will have your tutorial scheduled on a Tuesday. You will just need to check with your on-campus access coordinators as to the room allocation and the time. So just double check that prior to the start of the term. On this virtual classes too, if you're not used to using Zoom, then there are some instructions there that you can access. But basically, that little image there gives you an idea of what it's like to be a part of a Zoom classroom. The next tab is the assessment tab. Something that some students freak out about and others go, just bring it on. So we're going to bring it on. There are 4 assessments in Prep Skills. Twice during the term, you'll be doing this learning portfolio. So that's a written assessment where you respond to short questions. So you do short answer responses to questions. So the first assessment is the learning portfolio A. It's due in week 5. So we've actually set these will change each term. This is term 1 dates, but the term 2 dates will differ. So it is due generally in week 4 or 5. Always double check at the start of the term exactly when the dates are, because they can change depending on public holidays. Assessment 2 is generally in week 6 and it's a quiz. Assessment 3 is Learning Portfolio B and it's in week 11, always on a Friday in week 11. And then assessment 4 is another quiz due in week 13. But please, every term, double check the dates, the times, and the actual activity that needs to be done. Pop that into your diary. Then we're getting started. So when you're ready, you can click on week 1, preparing for university, and you can make a start. Now, the study guide houses all the information. So that should be your number 1 go-to point. You open your study guide, you start reading through it, you do the little learning activities that we have in there because they're reflections that help to cement your knowledge around the content that we're teaching. It just helps you to get deeper understanding. And then your Moodle is your support element. So Moodle houses the resources, maybe some video links, the links to forums, and there's a range of different resources that you can access through Moodle. So the two work intermittently, but you have to do the work by reading the study guide. The other thing is in module 1, we'll be asking you to complete a contract. Now, it's not a contract in that sense that you may be thinking about it. It's more a contract to yourself where you're making yourself accountable and you're saying, this is what I want to gain from steps. And what it does, it helps you to see that there's a reason why you're here and there's a goal that's at the end of this that you want to get to. So this is your starting point. You're making yourself accountable, saying, this is why I want to do it. This is what I'd like to achieve. And by the end of this term, this is the outcomes I'd like to see. So please fill in that contract and then send it to your support lecturer. Now, to finish off, we have something ultra special now that we have finished developing and now we've entered it onto the Moodle sites. And this is what we call the Be Positive initiative. The Be Positive is a positive psychology program that was developed by some of the academics within this school. And will teach you about different ways to reframe the way that you are thinking. So look, I know many of us have this deficit mindset. We think negatively. We and our natural chatter that goes on in our minds can be very negative. So Be Positive uses these really unique characters that also were developed by colleagues in little videos to teach you about 12 different positive psychology concepts and some different strategies and techniques that you can implement to help you reframe the way you think about yourself and the way that you think about your study. And what we found is that the experience of students that have done this has been amazing. They have really found that it has changed the way they think. They are so much more optimistic about themselves, and even their families are noticing it in them. So this is an individual activity. We don't demand that you do it. We just know that this is really going to benefit you. Now, this is open for you to access at any time. So if you've got time on your hands, you can do a few of the different modules, lessons, I should say. So just feel free to do it whenever you like, but you will gain a lot from it. So that's it from me. We will, as I said, we're so glad that you're on board with us, and we will see you in week 1 at our first online Zoom lecture. See you then.